attitude enhanced attributes fell through the wall, not in the mood. Did your last check bounce unveil your arrival here? Corrupted where the car rushed in, spun around, engine taking swings. It's that.
All right, as you can tell, this is going to be a very safe pick. Now, we're entering the second COVID-impacted college football season, and while it shouldn't be as crazy as last year with entire teams getting wiped out and Trevor Lawrence missing 2 weeks, really 3 weeks if you include the college football semifinal. But it shouldn't be that different this year because I think teams are still going to be impacted by the Delta variant and their schools and their fan bases being afraid of the Delta variant. Perfect example of that this weekend, Kansas State, Stanford, both traveling to Dallas. K-State fans, they don't own masks. They threw them away a long time ago. Stanford fans, they won't even go to the grocery store, let alone Texas. That is their worst nightmare. Unless you're Joe Rogan, you're not leaving California for Texas under any circumstances right now. So Stanford's fan base, gonna screw their team, gonna take what could be, at worst, a neutral site game to every man as a Wildcat. It is gonna be K-State to the brim in Dallas Stadium. K-State -3, EMA, take it, take the vaccine, shoot ivermectin into your arm, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, I don't care, I'm vaccinated. Do it, don't miss out. Delta variant, pick of the week, K-State -3 all day. I'm still on K-State, but I just walked by a guy who had a future Wildcat sign in his lawn, and I hollered at him. I said, "Hey, you think the Cats are going to cover against Stanford?" And he looked at me like I was asking him if he had fucking heroin. So, I don't know. He wasn't wearing a mask, so I guess my point still stands. EMA. K-State -3. Delta variant. All right, one of the harder picks that I'm going to have to make every week. This is the Double H, inspired by the horrifically bad wrestler Triple H. I was a Rock guy. This is the head over the heart pick of the week. Just as simple as it would sound, except flip it on its head. It's heart over head, okay? We're not being smart this week, okay? We're taking LSU -5. I know what you're thinking. Hurricane Ida just hit last week. Anniversary of Katrina. Although it didn't hit Baton Rouge very much, you know, they have family there. They're going to be emotional, but maybe not in a good way. They're going to be distracted for sure. A lot of stuff going on. UCLA looked great last week. Chip Kelly in the visor. That was a no-brainer. But although your head says UCLA all day, +5, you don't want to be the guy who isn't on LSU. And I got another pick in this vein. You don't want to be on the guy against LSU if they have a New Orleans Saints type season. This is the one floater. We'll know this week whether they're going to regress to last year, which was shocking. It was as if Ida had hit a year ago and not a week ago. But I just don't trust UCLA. I made so much money off of Colorado smoking them to start the season last year, so we aren't going against that now. LSU -5. This is the lock of the week. I'm thinking, been workshopping the name. I think it's going to be get drunk and call an ex-girlfriend. Lock of the week if it loses, but it won't. Alabama, Miami. Alabama's -18. They were one of the best teams against the spread last year in the country. I think it was like 9-3 or 9-4. Miami sucks. They're frauds. They don't even belong in the same stadium as Alabama. It's going to be evident in the first half. You might also want to get Alabama first half. You think that Nick Saban gives a shit about Miami and what they need in the first quarter? I keep hearing people say, oh, Miami needs to come out and have a good showing. They're not going to. They're going to look awful. You're going to feel like a total idiot for not taking the dead lock of Alabama. And if Alabama somehow loses or doesn't cover, just get drunk and call somebody that you shouldn't. Always a good idea. Alabama, minus 18. Trust me, or don't, but don't trust your ex. This is maybe my favorite one because I have lost so much goddamn money on the University of Tennessee and their delusional fan base thinking that they are back. This is the year. This is the year. Natty Championship. Peyton Manning reincarnate. Guess what? It's never happened. It's never going to happen. So this is the fuck Tennessee game of the week. It's going to either be betting on Tennessee or, well, against Tennessee, betting that they won't hit the over, which was evident last night, that they ain't back and they aren't going to hit many overs unless they're getting smoked. So, the fuck Tennessee pick of the week, since I already missed the Thursday night games for Tennessee, I think we're going to go with Kentucky, minus 31 against UL Monroe. Again, Louisiana team, having to deal with all the Ida bullshit. Gonna be distracted. I know I said don't worry about that with LSU, but University of Louisiana Monroe is not LSU. So, Kentucky, minus 31. They're big-time rivals with Tennessee. They fucking hate each other. Both fan bases are backwoods, bluegrass motherfuckers, which I like. But I think I like the Kentucky fans more. So we're rolling with Kentucky. Fuck Tennessee. Kentucky, minus 31. Easy, 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 easy. I think most people, sane, rational people, with their head on straight, would largely agree that there is not much, if anything, sexier than an attractive prop bet. Maybe vintage Jennifer Aniston, but this week, I got a prop bet that, from the second you click place bet until it either hits or misses, and then for, 10 or 12 hours afterwards, I'm going to be rock hard, just solid, coming out of my pants, however many inches, that's for you to decide. But this week, Ole Miss, Louisville, prop bet, Ole Miss, first to score, and they're going to score a touchdown. It's even money. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Because it's all going to come down to the goddamn coin flip. If Louisville wins the coin flip, Ole Miss hates nothing more than playing defense. So it is going to be a goddamn nail-biter. My ass cheeks will be clenched. My penis will be even smaller than it normally is. And oh, God, if Ole Miss wins that coin toss, though, it's going to be over. Maybe the first play from scrimmage. They're just going to air it out. Now, what may happen is they air it out, pick six the other way, and then you have to kill yourself responsibly. But that's not going to happen. Ole Miss is going to win the coin toss. You're going to come in your pants, and then they're going to score on the first drive. Touchdown, game over, easy money. Take it. Even money. Pretty good, right? Definitely underrated. Leo, very good. And I'm not even like a Leo guy, except for in my dreams. But great film, great performance. That's why we decided that they're going to be the sponsors for the flyer pick of the week. Get it? Airplanes flyer. Now, they don't know that they're sponsoring it, but and I didn't reach out to whoever owns the IP. But I'm pretty sure that as long as you say fair use and do this with your fingers, counts. And I'm a lawyer, so you can trust me. Or I used to be. Obviously, not so much anymore. But flyer of the week this week, Wisconsin, -4. playing Penn State. Conference game to start the season, which is kind of weird. But Wisconsin was kind of down last year. Oddly, they couldn't even run the ball. I think people are down on them again this year. I think people are oddly high on Penn State this year. They think that maybe they're going to finally get it together, even though they were trash last year. Actually trash. That was the easiest money, was betting against Penn State last year, especially early on in the season. And I think it's going to be the same. I think Wisconsin's going to reestablish the run game, but they're also going to have their quarterback, who went to a rival high school of mine right down the street, but I didn't go to school with him, so I don't care. I'm rolling with Wisconsin. I think they're going to be new and improved offense, solid defense as usual. And Penn State, let's face it, they deserve to get the shit kicked out of them week in and week out and never return to glory. And Joe Pa deserved to die in jail. But sometimes you don't get what you want, and that's why it's the flyer of the week. Wisconsin -4. We're hopeful. We're hopeful with hopeful. Wisconsin -4. And fuck Joe Pa. All right, I think I got a good parlay for this week. I'm going to do a slightly different parlay every week. Probably always some sort of an alliteration because it's easy. This week, it's the pull-out parlay. In honor of, or I guess not in honor, in light of what happened in Afghanistan last week, I think Army and Navy are going to be fired up this week. They're going to come out and fucking smash whatever domestic terrorists that they are playing against. So we got Army +4 against Georgia State, Navy money line +120 against Marshall. Now, I was already all over Army last year. I don't think I bet Navy at all. But, I mean, given Afghanistan, if you don't take this bet, or if you, God forbid, you bet for effectively a domestic terrorist in Marshall or Georgia State, then you're not a red-blooded American. You don't support the troops. And in fact, you're giving aid and comfort to the Taliban. So if you want that on your conscience, then be my guest. But me, I back the troops. Okay? We're going Army. We're going Navy. I guess I am kind of insinuating that Georgia State and Marshall are like the Taliban, but fuck it. In this instance, they are. They're the enemy. We're the USA. USA versus the world. If you don't back the red, white, and blue, then fuck you. USA! USA! This one's real simple. I'm going to take one future a week based on what's going on in the season. It's going to be a future loser probably, but that's what all futures are. So we're going LSU +3,000 to win the SEC. I know. Georgia, Florida even, obviously Alabama, and then LSU. They were horrendous last year. Whoa! Salamander. They were horrific last year. But do you really think that Coach O is going to let that happen again? And do you really want to be the person, if they're sitting at 8-0, 9-0, and New Orleans is starting to come back, Baton Rouge has never been gone, because apparently Ida kind of spared it, luckily. But yeah, I'm not going to be that guy. I wasn't old enough to gamble on the Saints' return to the Super Bowl and when the Superdome was pumping, so I'm not missing out on this. I won't do it. And this is kind of a Tigers headband, so I'm not even an LSU fan. But today, this weekend, all LSU. LSU future +3,000 to win the SEC. Take a flyer. If they're sitting 8-0, 9-0, and the odds are now +800, you'll feel like a fucking genius. So do it. Make yourself feel better in 4 months when you're almost dead from the Delta. All right, this one goes out for my dogs, my underdogs, my road dogs, my under gods. All right, it's all dogs. You can parlay it. I'm not going to. I'm going to play all three. Well, no, I'll probably put a little taster on a parlay too. But I like all three. I like all three to win. I like all three to embarrass the bigger, better team. So, first one, Western Michigan, Michigan. Last time I saw it, Western Michigan was plus 17. Michigan was one of those teams as well last year, like Penn State, that was easy money. If I was having a bad weekend, like the weekend of the Wisconsin game, I laid like 5 units on that game and didn't sweat it 1 second because Wisconsin wasn't even that good, but Michigan was fucking trash. It looked like a high school team could have beat them. So, I don't think they got any better. I'm not trusting it. Week 1, they are notorious, probably since Chad Henne, for losing fucking week 1s. So, I'm not going anywhere near Michigan until they show me that Big Blue is back, which I just don't trust. So, take Western Michigan, plus 17. You know, if you lose that one, you lose that one, and Michigan's back. But I'm staying away from Michigan. It's just not smart. Next one, cross Texas matchup. Houston plus 1.5 against Texas Tech. I don't think Texas Tech is very good. And Houston is playing for that Big 12 bag. So I think they're going to want to come out and embarrass Houston or embarrass Tech. I think Houston is actually pretty good. And like I said, they got something to play for. You saw that UCF Boise effort on Thursday. That was good football because they both know that the Big 12 invitation and the fact that they won't be on the outside looking in anymore for a potential playoff berth if they get that invite is on the line. So I'm going to look for Houston to run it up against Tech, frankly. Show that they belong. And then last one, Indiana plus 4 at Iowa. Most polls, I think I've seen Indiana 1 or 2 spots above Iowa, which I think is fair. I think Indiana looked phenomenal down the stretch last year, similar to the Army coach. If you saw Indiana's post-game and pre-game coach speeches and you weren't fucking rock hard to bet everything, to sell your house and put it all on Indiana, then you're not into football or you had a lobotomy. I don't know. So I think IU shouldn't be getting points at Iowa, even in Iowa. I don't think Iowa in the first game of the season, I don't think that their home field is worth whatever that would be, 5 or 6 points, giving it to Indiana. So I'll take Indiana in the points all day. Again, I don't think anybody gives Ohio State the game that they gave them in the Big Ten championship last year. So I'm rolling with the coach. I'm rolling with them returning some talent and airing it out, and Iowa's defense just not being as stout as it normally is. So Western Michigan plus 17, Houston plus 1.5, and Indiana plus 4. Lock it. All right, I hate doing this, but you know, these picks just got to be somewhere on the card. They're asking for it. You know, so I think what we're going to call this one is the square favorites is the concept. I'm still workshopping a name because, you know, it's kind of like a cum rag that you keep under your bed, you know. You don't want anybody to know about it, but everybody does it. So I think maybe we'll call it the Seaman Sock Special, the shameful Seaman Sock Special. Flaccid favorites, whatever you want to call it. We're taking squares, we're taking favorites, we're going chalk, we're coming in our bed, throwing it under. All right, obviously we got Clemson minus 3 at Georgia. Simple. I won't go against Clemson in the first game of the season. They might look amazing, so. And Georgia, in my opinion, historically always lets me down once I get on them, so I'm staying away. And then, Miami of Ohio, Cincinnati. I think Cincy's like minus 23, whatever it is. Take Cincy. They're going to try to smoke everybody this year. They're trying to get into the Big Five, but they want to get in the playoffs this year. And the only way to do that is to blow everybody out and then to fucking smoke Indiana and smoke Notre Dame on the road. That's what they got to do. And then last one, Notre Dame -7 against Florida State. I fucking hate betting Notre Dame. Hate it. But I made a shitload of money on Notre Dame last year against Clemson. So I'm going to roll with them here. If they fuck me, I'll be very dubious of them going forward because they are fucking year in and year out frauds. They are the independent Tennessee, in my opinion. So do with what you will. Throw your cum sock away. Show it to your mom. I don't care. But we're going to go Cincy, Notre Dame, Clemson. Those are the square picks. Lock them in. Don't tell anybody. And go to bed.
Morals for the formative years. Clarity in giving our consciences. Face held up with artificial bliss. The air